Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be journaling with you on 3 pages. I'm going to complete 3 pages with you, and then I think I'm doing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and starting Friday. So what I'm doing here is I'm just sticking down a sticker. I already glued the lemon border on the top, and now I'm gluing in those flowers and that grants and events. I put that in there. I don't think I journaled about it, but I won a grant for my classroom to buy $500 worth of books, and that was the day that I got awarded my money. And so I'm really excited about that and to choose out my books. And on the side, I'm just going to be picking out some stickers. I think I choose, one that says cleaned out the junk mail. My husband and I let the mail, we open it all, but then we just kind of let it stack up for a while until we decide that it's overrunning our life and we throw it away. And so I did that on that day on Tuesday. I also journal on this page about my coworkers. So I had about 4 coworkers out for part of the week for COVID and getting tested for COVID. And so Tuesday, a few of us got to come back. So I was out because I had just a normal doctor's appointment. And then I had a couple who tested negative, so they were allowed to come out back to school. And so I was just, when I get to journaling, that's what I'm talking about. The decorations don't really match what I'm talking about, which is fine. I just kind of like the way they look, especially these little teapots. I got them in some sort of magazine. It was like not an ad per se, but it was showing different kinds of teapots and their prices. I think that particular one was about $800. Yeah. Can you imagine having $800 extra to spend on a teapot? That is insane to me. But I am on a public servant salary for teaching, so, I just don't have $800 extra laying around for anything, personally. But anyway, I digress. So that's what I'm journaling about. There is my coming back from having a substitute and having a couple of my coworkers still out because they either tested positive or were waiting to see if they had a negative test so that they could come back and teach. On this page, I am part of a Facebook group, and they do a weekly challenge called 5 on Friday. And so I am just kind of looking up the prompts for that on my phone for the Facebook group so that I tick them all off. And so I'm going to glue down this sticky note of a mug, and then I'll put the date on it, and then I think I doodle on it. Because I remember I wrote about the book that I had just finished, and so the prompt was doodle something that makes you feel cozy or safe. And so I end up doodling a little book on that. It's not the greatest, so when you see it, just be forewarned that I tried, but I got a little short there. And another prompt that they had was to make your own stencil or make your own stamp. And so I attempted to make a star stamp stencil. No, stencil, yes. I attempted to make a star stencil, and so that's what you're kind of seeing me do with that sticky note. And then I just use a shiny silvery blue marker to kind of color them in. And it looks pretty good. I didn't put a lot of them on there because I wanted room to write and not have it be taken up by that. And besides, that marker is kind of weird to write over, so I didn't want to put a bunch of them in the background and then not be able to write over them sufficiently. So there's that. I also really love that COVID-19 is tough, but we're tougher. That came out of my National Education Association magazine, I think, and I cut it out because this week has been tough on my school with COVID. A lot of teachers have been testing positive recently, and we're getting a bunch of students out too, and it's difficult to service everybody. We do it, but it's difficult, takes a lot out of us as a staff and a community. But we're dedicated and we're together. So I think also this was the day that our internet went out. This particular Wednesday, there must have been some sort of accident and a pole got knocked over somewhere or something to that nature, because the whole community around us, the internet went out, and so our phones were not working, and so the internet was not working. We weren't able to grade or take attendance, and we were testing, like benchmark testing, and so we were not able to do any of that, and it was super frustrating to try and do the teacher thing, especially since we have some students who are at home learning and we are servicing them digitally, and for us to not be able to get online or them to be able to get online and contact us or vice versa. It was something that we went through, and we persevered, and hopefully we don't have to go through it again. And so, yep, there you see my book. The dimensions are a little bit off. It doesn't look awful, but I definitely could have fixed it before going over it in pen. But I'm not artistic. I'm crafty. There is a difference. Crafts can be an art, but we don't have to get into that. I'm just not. I can't draw. We'll suffice it at that. This year I wanted to get better at kind of drawing and doodling, but you can see how it's going. I'm just going to leave it at that one. So you see the little emoji. I think I have a taco and I think a flower coming up over my phone right now, and that's because I was video chatting with my family while I was journaling, and so I didn't really want my family, I knew they wouldn't want to be like showcased on the internet for everybody, and so I just put that emoji over there, and it worked, and it was a nice little chat. I think I had to cut out almost an hour of footage because I just sat there and talked to him and didn't journal, but it is what it is, and I edited it out. It's fine. Now, this page over here that I'm working on, the 14th, was Thursday, and I do really like this layout. Of the 3 that I finished, I think this one's my favorite. The border you see there, this collage rim, as Love Lynn's Life puts it, is made of magazine like scraps, and I just kind of picked a color theme, I guess, and I took what was in that theme and just ripped it and kind of cut it until it fit how I wanted it around. I don't know if that's a good description of it at all. I'll see if I can find the video that Lynn did that I watched that kind of gave me the inspiration to do that border, because I feel like it's just a really easy, quick way to add color to the page and to kind of frame in whatever you're working on. And so I'll see if I can find that video and link it below. And I really like how it went with the journaling spot that I found, and then the stickers that I'm sticking down right now too. That little dinosaur with, like, I think it looks like books, but I think they're like suitcases. And then that shiny sticker. I'm not a big fan of shiny stickers, but that one was cute, and the color scheme kind of all matched together, and so we just did a matchy-matchy. And I say "and" a lot, don't I? I'm so sorry. I will have to work on that, my vocabulary for video voiceovers. So right here, what I am trying to put out is my unannounced observation came in at the end of the day, which is always just so chaotic. The students I have taught over different schools in different states, and the students by 7th hour in 6th grade are just done. So after probably 2 o'clock, students are done. They're wiped. They have took, which is the correct one, whatever. They have absorbed so much information for the day that by 2 o'clock, they are fatigued. Mentally, emotionally, socially, they are just fatigued. And so it gets difficult to focus for them. It gets difficult for me to redirect them. And good teachers manage. Really great teachers can thrive. I still don't want a observation, but it happened and we got through it. And so that's just kind of what I was talking about and some other things. And then on Friday, this is Friday's page, I think what I end up choosing is that wine to kind of fussy cut a little bit around it and glue down, because it had been a week between the internet going out and my friends and coworkers at school testing positive for COVID and being sick. I just knew that I was going to want some wine. Didn't end up that way. I ended up coming home with a migraine and going straight to bed. But it's the thought that counts. And I am winding down. I think all you're going to see next is me tuck in, I think, the carrots and then the Washington Monument that's underneath there with another magazine cutout of Joe Biden, and I kind of slip those in on the inauguration day that's going to be coming up in my journal so that I can talk about it then. Thank you.